Darlington Raceway, a NASCAR original. Been hosting the Cup Series since 1950 and today plays host to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. What a gorgeous day here. It doesn't get better, about 70 degrees, beautiful sunshine, and we're expecting the same all weekend long. This is practice and qualifying for the Truck Series. All three NASCAR National Series will be here at Darlington this weekend, and we're excited to kick things off here. Live from Darlington, South Carolina. I'm Jamie Little, and this is Michael Waltrip. So happy you're joining us on this Friday afternoon. It's all about the trucks today, Michael. I'll tell you, fans love this place. Drivers love it as long as your truck's driving well. What do you love about this place?
Just woo. I mean, this is the best racetrack in NASCAR. When you come here as a former racer, I get really fired up about these guys just hitting the track. I get to watch, and it makes me plumb giddy. And I was down in the garage area. The drivers feel the same way. The challenges are grand. You've got so many different lines. You run around this racetrack, on the wall, off the wall, all over the place. It's just a thrill ride to watch these guys go out and do what they do so well. It's going to be a great race. And we're going to get it all started here with practice and qualifying.
We're so excited, and our own Josh Sims will be covering all the action on pit road. We'll remind you it's all about the drivers broadcast tonight. We'll get that going, but we have lots of stories to cover, lots of different agendas right here for this 50-minute practice session. So Josh Sims, what are you hearing?
Well, Jamie, the teams are calling this the first gauge of where their trucks and their teams are at heading into this race tonight. You got the first downforce track with this new aero package, and you got 50 minutes of practice, 2 sets of tires. And like you mentioned, Jamie, these teams have different agendas. Some of the teams I talked to, they want to go out, make a long run, change the tires out, make another long run just to see where the tire fall off is going to be today. Others are saying, hey, we're going to go out, make a long run, then we want to make a mock qualifying run. And others, they just want to see where the balance is at and determine what they're going to do from there. Either way, you hear a lot of different agendas, but all of it's going to be great to watch, Jamie.
Jamie, a couple of guys I talked to said if their truck is handling the way they hoped it is, the way they plan for it to be, they're just going to go out and run 20, 25 straight laps. So if you see a guy, one of our top contenders, go out and only run a few laps, his truck isn't agreeing with him. He's going to come in, make some adjustment. But everything goes to plan. A guy like Lane Riggs here, he's going to run the long haul and see where he's at.
You know what I love? These guys have options. The box has been opened up a little bit, Michael, with these 50-minute practice sessions this year. They can make some more adjustments. And today, I don't know the last time they were able to have an extra set of tires, Mikey, that if they want to make that option to do a mock run, we don't hear that in the Truck Series very often. They have options here for this session.
Yeah, at the end of the session, if they want to put on a set of stickers and go make a qualifying run to practice for what's coming up right after this practice session, they have the option to do so. It's going to be fun for me to watch this. If you look at Lane Riggs, last year here, he was leading the race, holding off Corey Heim, but he overdid it, got in the outside wall. Talked to Lane earlier this week, and he said, I understand my mistake there. Obviously, a great run at St. Pete. He's a great race car driver. He made a mistake here a year ago. Don't look for this kid to do that again here today.
Yeah, I think last year this was the one of a couple that got away from Lane Riggs, but we'll take a look back at what happened a year ago. It was his until it wasn't. Here it is, the nice battle right there. Lane Riggs hard into the outside wall, and that ended his hopes for a win.
Yeah, and Corey Heim did what Heim does, made it Heim time again here in Darlington, South Carolina, something that we got accustomed to seeing a year ago. But Lane said, I understand what I did wrong. He learned from that, so we'll see if he can, you want to come full circle. You want to say, last year I messed up, this year I'm in victory lane. That's what it's all about.
There was so much on the line then, too, for that race with the playoffs and everything that was happening at that moment. We haven't raced here in the spring since 2 years ago, so happy to have the truckers back here for the triple header. And a different look for the man that got it done last year. He's just going to go through all the teams. He was in the 1 truck last time a couple weeks ago at Atlanta, and now making his debut with the 5 for Tricon Garage.
Good looking Toyota Tundra there. Nice livery, Tricon Garage. This team has been on top of things, as you see. Ty Majeski and Matt Crafton's truck. Got to get used to that. But you can see he's the fastest cat in town so far. 29.71 was his fast lap, Jamie. That's a quarter of a second faster than anybody. That's pretty big in NASCAR.
He's not wasting any time either. 5 laps in already.
Look how low he's running. I said it in the opening. There's grooves all over this place. He was way down off the racetrack on the apron in 1 and 2. And watch this line, or excuse me, 3 and 4. When I was a driver, Jamie, that was 1 and 2. We've changed things a bit. But he'll go up toward that wall in 1 and 2. Sweep down off the track, low off turn 2, and down the back straightaway. You also have the option to run right up against the fence in 3 and 4. While your tires are fresh, I think you really want to hug that bottom like you see that 88 truck doing right there. Little dancing there off the corner. Grip goes away here in a hurry. I talked about that 29.71 on lap 1. How about 7 laps later, 30.72? Lost a second in just 7 laps. And if you're a NASCAR fan, if you're a racer, that's what it's all about. You like to see how these guys manage that tire fall off.
Love the fall off, and of course, they're limited on their sets of tires. They have 7 sets for the whole day. Practice, they'll have 2 sets, a set for qualifying, 4 sets of stickers for tonight's race. So we take a look at Chandler Smith, got the big win to kick off this season at Daytona. He is the point leader right now. And Michael, I know we've been off from the Truck Series the last couple of weekends, but of course this man, he's been busy in the O'Reilly Series.
Yeah, he gets to do a lot of racing, and that's what you love doing as a driver. And as I talked, you saw him down in 3 and 4. He was already way high up on the groove. Chandler's completed just 3 laps.
30.23 in traffic.
Gio Ruggiero in that 17 trucks, he pops up to the 3rd spot right now. Solid run early. Look at that, right out by the wall.
Inside, quarter, bumper, all clear, all clear.
You walk through the garage, you know, every time we're here, Michael, and the drivers just talk about how much of a challenge this place is. Yes, in 3 and 4, you make you got to set up the pass, and you've got to get it done before you get down to the other end. 1 and 2 is so tough to pass. They're completely different ends of the track and where you race them. You talked about the different lines here.
Well, you just have to use your brain sorting out your truck. Am I solid off turn 2? Can I get to the bottom of a guy in turn 3 and 4 and get that pass done? You're always thinking, always calculating on how you're going to make those moves, and it's always dependent on how your truck is handling.
Practice underway here at Darlington Raceway. 42.5 minutes remaining. Stay with us. Practice ongoing here for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. We've had 24 truckers hit the track so far, but we've had a few struggling to get through tech inspection. Michael, good look at him right there. The 90 of Justin Carroll, Corey LaJoie back there, Brendan Queen.
Yeah, you know, Jamie, we talk about speed and lines and how your truck looks on the track. Down in the garage area, all they're talking about is the inspection process. There's been a couple of aero changes to these trucks, and most of the teams have gotten their arms around it, but several of the teams had to make a couple of trips through inspection to make sure they fit the templates. It's excuse me. It's all about how you arrange that body and fit inside of NASCAR's templates to get the maximum downforce that you can get on these trucks. And here at Darlington, that's what we want, max downforce, because of that grip that goes away like I talked about.
See the 25 truck there, that's Corey LaJoie. I believe they just announced that Corey LaJoie will be in at our next race. He'll be back in that Ram truck number 25. Our next race, of course, is Rockingham, a fan favorite, coming up Friday, April 3rd.
Here's Corey Heim in that 5 truck, diving down to the inside of, is that Dave Blaney? No, that was Josh Raymond in that 33. That's a good looking tribute. We've got several throwbacks here, paint schemes throwing back to some of the racers from back in the day, if you will.
There was a throwback in the garage today, and I don't believe it had anything to do with this truck, Michael, but Christian Eckes. First off, he's rocking this big mustache. We've seen him do it before, but he had a throwback Michael Waltrip shirt on that was actually older than him, I believe.
Yeah, he said he got it on eBay. That's kind of fun, though. Got to speak with Christian, and he and I both are Napa guys, and so it was fun to be able to talk to him a little bit. Loved his T-shirt. Looked cool.
Well, Christian told me that when he won here back in, I think it was May of 23, he had the mustache going on. So he said, you know, we need to turn our luck around. This has not been a good start to the season for us, so whatever it takes, I'm going to grow out that mustache, see if we can turn things around.
Corey Heim has just completed his 12th lap. He's down in 11th on the scoring pylon, just outside of the top 10. Which is kind of surprising, but you can see running that very low line, just figuring out what that truck needs and what he needs to do to go win this race.
Remember Corey Heim, last year's champion, broke all kinds of records. He's here part-time working with the different crew chief and team. And that is his old truck. Caden Honeycutt behind the wheel. And Michael, for the first time ever, he's working with his crew chief, Scott Zipadelli, here at the racetrack. We've talked about Scott Zipadelli, an amazing crew chief that he is. Had a major break to his left leg, went through surgery. He has not been able to get to the racetrack, so he is here. And he said being at home or being in the war room, being in sim with your driver, it's nothing compared to being here when it matters most and hearing and seeing your driver react to what this truck needs.
Yeah, just feeling it out. And this is a guy that will win this season. I can guarantee you that 11 truck will go to victory lane. See if he has the speed to figure it out here at Darlington. But before this year is over, you can bet that'll happen.
Working on the inside, that's the 45 of Ross Chastain.
Yeah, and that's the difference in tires, Jamie. Ross is on his second lap, and the 11 truck of Honeycutt is on his 15th. And you can see just boom, right around him and off he goes.
Ross Chastain right there, one of two drivers doing triple duty this weekend. Christopher Bell, welcome back to the Truck Series, driving for Helmar Friesen. Good to see him in the field. Ross knows what he's doing, coming back to a racetrack. He got the win out before.
Yeah, he just executed on this restart. You can see, watch him kind of go up the hill a little bit, take the groove away from Majeski. That's what a veteran does. Puts himself in a position to angle into the corner like he wants to and drives off and gets the victory.
Smash the watermelon.
You darn right.
Nice piece of it in his hand in victory lane.
See him making a move down to the bottom of the racetrack. See if he tries to wrap the bottom while he's down there. He indeed does. You can see that bottom line, they're racing below it. That's how much grip and how many grooves there are available to these drivers here at Darlington.
Ross Chastain always talks about Al Nice and the Truck Series and where it all began for him. Certainly hasn't forgotten his roots, and winning at any level in NASCAR means the world to him. See what he can do here tonight. 35 minutes left to practice. Ty Majeski, Tanner Gray on top. Nice view on board with Justin Haley, who just took a screwdriver into his own hands. He's using those Craftsman tools. Justin Haley, 8th on the board so far after 20 laps, making some adjustments there. As you take a look at the best 10-lap averages, Caden Honeycutt, Michael, getting it done.
Yeah, these are very indicative of who will be good tonight. There's other guys, though, that catch my attention in the form of the number 7 of Connor Mozak. He's been really solid all throughout this practice session, as has Gio Ruggiero in the 17 and Carson Hocevar. So add those guys to the list, too.
Caden Honeycutt, fastest 10, 15, and 20 lap average. There's Scott Zipadelli. Just talked about him making his return to the racetrack, first time this year. He's actually in a wheelchair. That is not the easiest thing to be wheeling around the garage, Michael, but he's just so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to see him here, too.
His left leg there.
Yeah, championship guy. Seeing the background there, the 17 truck looks like ODW's 17 Western Auto there.
Fun to see the throwbacks, and we'll see that throughout the weekend.
I think this might be a throwback to Mike Skinner, maybe from back in the day.
Yeah, a little different look.
Rings a bell. I don't know if that's correct or not.
Well, Chandler Smith, 13 laps in. He is 6th on the board. Josh.
Caught up with Chandler Smith earlier today, and he told me he's always had trouble getting his truck dialed in exactly how he wants it here. He wants to be able to rip the wall. You see him trying to do that here. He said last year during practice they really got it where they wanted. Then in the race, he got a little too close to that wall, made contact about 11 laps in, and that ruined his day. And you see him hanging on right there. Came over the radio a little while ago and said the back end of that truck just a little too yawed out for him. Mikey, you could talk to what that means for the viewers.
Well, it means what we just saw, Josh. He's dancing around in the corner. The back end wants to hang out. You really need that at Darlington to get the thing to turn like you want it to in the center of the corner, but a little bit too much can become hectic, and especially as close as you run to these outside walls. So he's a veteran. He knows how to hang on to one, and he also knows how to tell his team to adjust for that if it's a little bit too much.
Ty Majeski went out early, 29.71. Fastest so far today.
Stuart Friesen has run 24 laps. Caden Honeycutt, we talk about how fast he is. He ran 28 straight in a row. And so he really likes his truck, and we see the speed in it as well. I said earlier, he's going to win this year. Heck, might as well be here, right?
Why not? And I'm curious about this setup. You know, Mike, obviously they knew what they had with Corey Heim. They had a perfect truck here in the fall. So how similar, I wonder, is Caden Honeycutt? I mean, they're still learning all of those things.
I would tell that team I want it just like Corey Heim had it, because Corey Heim is a champion. He's a winning racer. I want to be able to feel what he felt and see if it jives with what I want to feel. And sometimes it varies a bit, but that's a great place to start. And it looks like he really liked that truck. Like I said, off the truck, through inspection, on pit road, straight out to the racetrack, ran that thing on a long run and likes it.
Here's Stuart Friesen in the 52.
26 laps on the board for Friesen.
He's got himself a nice teammate this weekend, and Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell was one of the drivers that filled in for Stuart Friesen when he was injured last year. He raced at Watkins Glen. So pretty neat to see him come back over to this side. Of course, Stuart Friesen and his team has an alliance now with, of course, Toyota and Tricon Garage, and getting some big names behind the wheel of their second truck throughout the season.
We've talked about Caden Honeycutt. He was in this 50 truck last fall filling in for Stuart Friesen. So Caden's got a lot of laps here and certainly in a position to show what he's made of here.
Mini Tyrell, different look for him.
Man, talking about, as Larry Mike Reynolds likes to say, drinking through a water hose, fire hose, that's what he says. That's what's happening right here. In other words, he's learning so much in such a little short period of time. We talk about 25 minutes being or 50 minutes being a long practice session. He's got so much to learn. It doesn't feel long to him. But what I like about Minnie, he went out and he was in traffic. He was around other trucks. And so his fast lap isn't on the board, but he's learning what the truck does when it's around other trucks, and now a bit of a space on the track so he can fill it out by himself.
Following his teammate Corey LaJoy around. Note, all drivers, all trucks are through technical inspection, so should be seeing everybody out on track here momentarily. But Mini Tyrell goes on that show for Colleague Racing and Ram. He wins the seat full time, but he hasn't been to any of these racetracks before, Michael, and it's just right when you think that, okay, maybe I figured something out for this track. Well, hold on, we're going to a different place, and it's a totally different style of racing.
There's nothing that compares to Darlington. There's nothing that will prepare you for it. I've talked to some drivers and they say, you know, Sim, you hit the wall and you just reset. This place, you pay the price, and so it's just such a different animal. And so these guys getting used to this is huge.
And by the way, the Ram team and Colleague, they don't have simulation, Michael. So I mean, they're behind in that way as well. They're building this incredible program. They did it in a short amount of time. 5 full-time trucks, but they're not there with simulation yet to help these drivers.
There's another one of those Rams. Corey LaJoy in the 25, late through inspection, just getting out onto the racetrack.
It's a good-looking truck.
Only 27th fastest in his first couple of laps, but you can see he's in traffic, passing other guys. And then in 2 or 3 laps, the good's all gone off your tires, and so you're not going to be able to post that big lap. Then you start worrying about, what can I do in the long run? How does my truck hang on?
Corey LaJoy and his lovely wife welcomed a 4th baby boy last week. So congratulations are in order for the LaJoy family. Stay with us. We're live from Darlington. Welcome back to Darlington Raceway. A couple of the Ram drivers, wow, getting it done just right outside the racetrack here.
That's fun.
Butterbean right there, Mini Tyrell. They're out there ripping the fence of a different kind, Michael. Look at that.
That looks so fun. I love that the Ram is activating at the track, showing the fans what those things will do. And then look how beautiful that 12 truck is.
I like all these throwback looks.
Throwing it back to 1952, Indy 500 pole-winning Cummins diesel. Fred something. Would you say that word? Agabashian. Fred Agabashian.
Sounds right.
Zoom tight.
You got it. Brendan Queen.
1952 Indy 500 pole sitter. How cool is that?
So most trucks, actually all 36 now. Costner just got out on track 2 laps in. As we take a look at Ben Rhodes, who's off to a good start, but a little bit of change inside the camp over the last couple weeks, Josh.
Well, that's right. Ben Rhodes on his 3rd crew chief of the season. Cale Gale steps in to top the pit box, but he told me this change is permanent, and this is a guy he's really been looking forward to working with. He said he first met him back on the scene back in 2014 when he was in now what's called the ARCA series, working with a different driver, but he loves the fact that he was recently in a car. He loves his engineering background, and of course, Ben's been off to a good start, so he's excited to continue that with Cale now working with him. As far as the truck right now, came over the radio a few minutes ago, said unhappy with the balance. They've made some strides to get it better, but still feeling he's a little bit too free, can't hustle the truck the way he wants it. So they got some work to do, but he's still 12th on the board on speed right now, guys.
Yeah, a lot of adjustments there. Ben told me the first time that he worked with Cale was this week. They were in the simulator together on Tuesday. But, I mean, for Cale Gale to raise his hand and say, yes, I'm ready for this. I want to be a crew chief. He's packing his bags. He's moving up to Ohio where the team is based. And it just hit the ground running here, Michael, just early in the season.
You saw how aggressively Rhodes came to pit road. That's just in case we have a green flag pit stop. He wants to see what all that truck will handle getting to pit road. Overdo it in practice so you make sure you understand what your limits are.
There's Grant Enfinger.
Currently 18th overall in this practice session, completing lap 31 right here. So Grant's running it on out. Only Connor Mosak has run more laps than Grant.
It's been a tough go for this team. Michael, talked to Grant. You know, they park the haulers based on where they are in points. So he was way in the back. His best finish this season, 22nd. He said, I don't feel like our trucks are that far off. It's just been one thing after another. St. Pete, the last race, was a mechanical failure on their end. So trying to right the ship at a place that he likes. He's raced around here quite a bit.
Well, it's just, you know, it's time for Grant to step up, and he will do just that. As we head to tracks like we have here at Darlington, Rockingham, he's the kind of guy that will get things done and get his season sorted. He's a veteran. He knows how to get it done behind the wheel. You race a couple of drafting tracks in a road course, you can justify why you're in a bind and why Grant's seeing part of the garage he's never seen before, way down at the wrong end, if you will.
Good looking truck here. Williams Sawalich making her first Truck Series start this year. Runs full-time in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. I'm really surprised we have not seen this young man find victory lane. He's one of those up-and-coming Toyota standouts, Michael, and he hasn't run full-time over here in the trucks, but I feel like he's in the hunt more times than he's not.
Yeah, he's a very talented young racer. We've seen that from all of his ARCA races, and he's had some solid runs in the O'Reilly series too, so wouldn't be surprised to see him stick it right up front here tonight.
Sawalich working lap 23 for him in this practice session. Just 19 minutes to go here. If you recall, if you're watching last year, these practice sessions were split into 2. You had 25 minutes for each group, and now it's all trucks together for 50 minutes this year. And teams love it, Michael. This is their only time to test anything, try anything, answer any questions.
There's Gio Ruggiero in that number 17 truck. He's throwing it back to my brother DW. 1992. I won on Saturday and my brother won on Sunday here in Darlington. That was a pretty special weekend.
How is old DW doing?
He's doing awesome. Talked to him this week and says he loves watching the races and just enjoying being a grandpa and playing a little golf every now and then. And I know he's got a big smile on his face right now looking at that 17 truck. And by the way, DW, the 17 truck is 3rd quickest so far. And he's finished in the top 2 and the top 5 in 2 of the first 3 races. So very, very good start to the season for Gio.
How about this? DW's quote about Darlington, the thing you have to keep telling yourself when you race at Darlington is to race the track, not the other guys. The guys who lose their temperament here are going to lose the race. You got to be cool to win at Darlington.
I love my brother's wisdom. He used to share that with me all the time when I was a kid. If I'd only listened, I would have probably won more races.
Michael, you often hear that from drivers. I just heard it driving down here. I was listening to Sirius XM, and you hear them say, you got to race the track here, not the competition. What does that mean exactly?
Just a mistake. You know, we talked earlier about Lane Riggs just slipping just slipping sideways when you just need to keep it pointed straight. You have to be patient and make sure that you keep your truck out of the wall. I talked about us coming to pit road, understanding what it takes to make a green flag pit stop and how you don't want to give anything up. Let's watch Ben Rhodes make this little pass to pit road. I said overdo it in practice, right? Make sure you get all you can get so you understand the tires have given up. Sideways right there. There's the commitment box just outside of it. So he understands now what the truck will handle coming to pit road. That's very valuable. And he's a veteran. If you're a rookie and you're not doing that, you're in for a rude awakening when you drop down there flat off turn 4.
Good rehearsal happening right now.
Darn right.
Ty Majeski still atop the board with the 29.71 Tanner Gray. Gio Ruggiero jumped up to 3rd. Lane Riggs, Carson Hocevar, your top 5. Good to see Christopher Bell in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, driving the number 62 tonight, 7th on the board so far, but that 15-lap average, not too shabby.
Oh, it's right, too, and he is running very aggressive on the high lane as you see him coming up on the back of Gio Ruggiero in the 17. But watch this line that he's running. That's where he's been this whole session, just a couple of feet off that outside wall. You know he's going to be up there tonight. A lot of guys don't want to test that, but if you're a veteran like Christopher Bell, it's all part of his game. He's used to running the cushion. He's a dirt racer, and he loves it.
He's only run 5 Truck Series races since he won the 2017 championship. I know he was grinning ear to ear when he ran at Watkins Glen, so it's fun to see him back here, keeping it off the wall. He doesn't want to be one of the first to get that Darlington stripe, Josh.
Well, that's right, and I talked to his crew chief, Jimmy Villeneuve, before practice, and he said their goal for this practice session to run it out. They're going to run as many laps as they can because they know why they're here. They're here to get the wins, especially when Christopher Bell is in the truck. Well, see, Bell just came over the radio and said, hey, this truck's still a little too free. They've been working on it during practice to get it dialed in. Jimmy said, do you want to bring it in? He said, no, I want to run this thing out, get a gauge for where this truck is going to go on old tires during the race.
You see he's right up on the back of the 34 of Lane Riggs. Lane's tires are a little bit older. Looks like Lane's going to bring her to pit road. Maybe do one of those. No, he just let Bell go by to see what kind of line he's running. I think this is a good move by Riggs. You know, you never stop learning, especially when there's someone out there with the ability of Christopher Bell. You want to see exactly what he's got going on.
Here's Tanner Gray.
Second quick in this session on the scoring pylon. Been out on the track for 29 laps. See what he has to say about this 15 truck.
Don't want to muck up, that's fun. I think the biggest thing based off of where we fired off is I just need to be tight enough to commit to throttle, you know?
That right rear is wearing pretty bad. This is not going to be a fair testament of the changes we made. What we're doing right now is we put tires on it. We'll fire off except for another half a rubber in the left rear from where we started. I got a pretty good idea of what we need to do to tighten it up for qualifying, so I think we should be okay. But I don't want to misread this thing because our tires are in the cord. That would not be very smart.
That's crew chief Jeff Hensley telling Tanner everything that his experience tells him. They're having tire wear. There's another sprint to pit road. You can see how aggressive Tanner was. Everything he needs to know about what's going on with the truck. He can't see how much the right rear tire's worn. That will go away. That'll get better with this evening. And then they were talking also about how they're going to tighten it up to go qualifying. A lot of good information from a veteran crew chief to a veteran racer.
It's been a good place for Tanner Gray, especially the last few times out, Michael. He's finished in the top 10, 3 straight races. It's funny. This is one of those places. There's certain drivers that just figure it out and they love it. And there's other drivers who just struggle and they can't get that feel that they really think they need.
Well, you really want to be able to say, I can get it done at Darlington, because it's one of the toughest places on the schedule. And to be able to get a win here and to show your team that it doesn't matter how crazy or how challenging things are, you can step up and get the job done. It's really important for you to be able to do that for your team. Tyler Ankrum down the back straightaway. He's completed 31 laps and still marching along. See a really low line. Conversely, we saw how high Bell was. Neither one is right or wrong. You got to be able to do both, so you need to practice both. I think Bell was the most committed to that outside lane of anyone I saw, though.
Tyler Ankrum really looking forward to our next race at Rockingham. Michael, he got the big win there last year. Another oldie but goodie. Daniel Hemrick, he's sporting a new look this weekend.
Yeah, he's very aerodynamic. And he's very happy to be driving those Napa Night Vision colors. Loves this racetrack. He's got one victory, great victory at Martinsville, where he stood flat-footed and did a backflip. If you wonder about the athleticism of some of these racers, we were talking about that today with Christian Eckes, and Christian said, not happening. Can't do that. And I told him that I understood at a very young age I was going to have to make a living sitting on my butt because I couldn't run, jump, or shoot like any of those other kids. So luckily I figured out something I could do.
A couple of teammates here. Christian Eckes, talked about him with that mustache in the 91. And then Daniel Hemrick, you said he's more aerodynamic. He shaved his head completely bald, and he just said it was time. See the 10, AJ Allmendinger. It's been a few years since we've seen this 44-year-old veteran in the truck series. Of course, we're used to seeing Daniel Dye as the normal driver full-time of the 10 truck.
That's one of the Mopar Ram late 90s paint schemes that we saw when Dodge came to NASCAR back in the day. Really good-looking number 10 truck for AJA.
Daniel Dye not behind the wheel. Earlier this week, NASCAR and Colleague Racing suspended him for insensitive comments he made during a live stream on social media. So AJ Allmendinger is the driver tonight. Just over 7 minutes remain from Darlington. It's Truck Series practice. Qualifying still to come. There's a new leader in town. It's Caden Honeycutt. We talked about drivers deciding to do mock qualifying runs. They had that extra set of tires they're not used to having here in practice. 29.45. He's also the best 10 lap, 15 lap, 20 lap, and today, Michael, we don't see this very often, 30 lap average.
Do you know that at the opening I said the plan would be to run 25 or 30 laps if your truck is good and then do a qualifying run?
Yes.
Caden Honeycutt ran 30 laps in a row, fastest truck in every category, and then he just did a mock qualifying run and he's the fastest truck. So you're talking about things going to plan for a team. They couldn't have scripted it any better. They followed their plan and they executed flawlessly.
They certainly have. And hey, look who's back. Carson Hocevar in the Spire truck. You see where he finished in 2 previous races this year so far. Hocevar 7th on the board. Think he's on a qualifying run here?
No, but he put on tires. I think he's
right in front of Christopher Bell.
I think he's running it out.
See Corey Heim has joined the party in the top 3. Tanner Gray moves from 2nd down to 4th. Grant Enfinger jumped up there. Talked about him needing to find a little speed.
He'll do it. He'll find that speed and he'll be solid tonight, I can guarantee you. Take a look at Jake Garcia making his way through turns 1 and 2. Dip down low off 2, right out next to the wall, and down the back straightaway he goes.
Finished 10th here at this race last year.
Really low line there for the 98 truck. 15th quick so far for this truck. There's Dawson Sutton off turn 2, running low. Looks like he possibly made a qualifying run there. 11th quick. That was his fast time last time out. So yes, that's what that team did.
Pretty solid pickup there, Chad.
Love what they did. Like the solid pickup.
Can't imagine being a young man coming here for the first time, or woman. That first time was in the fall. Just how daunting of a place this would be, especially when you're on the sim or you're on iRacing, and then to face it for real, the lady in black, how intimidating that would be.
Yeah, the first time I came here was in a cup car. It was 1985, and I ran 3 or 4 laps, and I felt like I was out in left field, and I was 17th quick, and I'm like, wow, this place is crazy. I don't understand how people go that fast around here. This place will open your eyes more so than any circuit in NASCAR, maybe in the world. It's just so challenging.
1.3 mile oval. So we see Christian Eckes on track.
Wouldn't it be fun if it just were that simple? A 1.3 mile oval.
Oh, the character.
Yeah, the squeezed up turn 3 and 4 that was built to preserve a fishing pond that was just off the 4th corner back in the day. The crazy difference in the 2 ends, the banking. Ooh, it just does it for me.
It's shaped like an egg.
Yeah.
Wider at one end than the other. Brendan Butterbean Queen. Sure, his eyes are as big as saucers coming here for the first time.
There's one Ram that's better than the rest. Justin Haley's 13th quickest, and the rest of the Rams are kind of stuck in the back. As you look at Chandler Smith there into turn 3, right out next to the outside wall.
So just 1 minute remains here. They'll have 10 minutes to make any adjustments for qualifying. I'll line them up. Single truck qualifying. Single lap.
Just trying to figure out those last seconds of this session. What can we do? How can we get this truck better? What are the changes we need to make? Carson Hocevar put on those tires and ran it out. Put on tires at lap 25. That's when he ran his fastest lap, and he's at 39 now. So just trying to give the team more information so they can make adjustments to be where they need to be tonight.
Looking at who turned the most laps in this session, Daniel Hemrick with 52 laps.
Christopher Bell with 55. Christopher was making a really long run. There's that 62 truck.
So Caden Honeycutt wins the one and only practice session. Ty Majeski, Corey Heim, Tanner Gray, Grant Enfinger. Your top 5 in practice. We'll step aside as they get ready for qualifying coming up next.
Tonight, the Craftsman Truck Series tackles the track too tough to tame at 7:30 p.m. on FS1. And tomorrow, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series will practice and qualify at noon Eastern on the CW app.
A lot more racing action still to come all weekend long. Looking forward to it. This beautiful weather, it doesn't get better. As you take a look at the top 10 from the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, it was all about Caden Honeycutt, the fastest man in town. Anybody else stand out to you there, Michael?
Just the long run speed of Honeycutt was probably the most impressive to me. I like what Carson Hocevar did. He put on tires late in that run, made a longer run, made an adjustment. So I keep my eye on him. And of course, Lane Riggs, winner of our last race out. I think he'll be a story tonight.
Good to see William Sawalich jump up there in the top 10 as well. Let's hear from the fastest man in Darlington. He's with Josh.
Well, that's right, Jamie. Caden Honeycutt, top of the board when it comes to speed. But how did you feel about the longevity of the truck and what you learned?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, tires are huge here, right, especially at the end of the run. So we weren't concerned about the first 5, but felt like we had a really good 10 average from on. Just really focused on keeping the tire underneath me and working on the stuff in sim that these guys, Scott has taught me a heck of a ton at being at this team with throttle modulating and stuff that I really didn't know I was doing wrong, and stuff that I could control myself that I really didn't know that was a thing. So yeah, did a great job by the Safe Flight Toyota team, Tricon Garage, all of our partners that do such an awesome job to help us and to get us here at the racetrack. So yeah, definitely a really good run there. Was happy with our mock as well. So yeah, great having our leader back, man. I love having Scott back. This is our legit first race together, so it will be good to have him on the box and call the race, and hopefully we can go win the race tonight. and put on a good show for everyone.
Appreciate that. Well, speaking of your crew chief, let's go over here and talk to Scott Zipadelli. Scott, great to have you back at the track. How does it feel to be back amongst the guys in the element, in the garage, and working on a truck again?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it would feel this good, but we had a really good practice. Truck's got good speed. The boys haven't missed a beat, and it feels really good to be back here with this group. I missed the group a lot.
I know you missed the group. How does the leg feel, though?
Right now, it's not very happy. I've been on my feet for 6 or 7 hours, but we'll get a little break here and get some ice on it, and we'll be ready for tonight. And tomorrow I can rest all day long if I need to, but just happy to be here.
Always appreciate you, Scott. He's going to gut this one out, Jamie.
Yeah, he's going through a lot, dealing with a lot. He had a dirt bike accident. He was out riding with his little boys and shattered his left leg basically, and just it's been a rough comeback, but he's here and that's all that matters.
You could hear his passion too, how thankful he was to be here.
Well, we'll see if that speed will translate to qualifying. It's coming up next.
It turns out that our driver's only broadcast is a little unpredictable.
I fed the baby.
It's a little surreal. I'm talking to Ryan Blaney.
Kevin Harvick is a psychopath.
Ricky, what are we going to do?
I wonder what those guys in the studio are doing.
Eating ice cream.
I'm extremely embarrassed to wear this hat.
Blaney said they feed us well up here in the Fox booth.
Tacos for life.
I feel like we're getting better every time, though. We didn't mess up nowhere near as many times as we did.
Good times, and for the first time, we're right here at Darlington tonight, so the drivers will take over. Michael,
It's really important, Jamie, not to mess up as much as you did last time. I mean, that's a great goal.
That's true.
Just make sure you do it less. And these guys are so fun, and they love doing it. I mean, these are Cup superstars that are coming to the booth on Fox and sharing their insight to what it's like to be on this track right now. They know everything about what it takes to win here, and I love their being a part of the broadcast.
Well, one thing we've learned about Austin Cindric, just keep the snacks coming, keep him fed. He will give you content that you won't stop talking about. Looking forward to all that coming up tonight, 7:30 Eastern on FS1. Let's check in with Josh.
Standing by with Christopher Bell, just going back over some notes from that practice session. What did you learn?
I learned it was really loose out there. Holy smokes. Yeah, these things are a ton of fun to drive. They have a lot of side force, so even whenever you do get loose, you can kind of just slide the truck through there. But yeah, I think we have some work to do on this pristine auction Tundra to be able to run with the front runners. But hopefully we'll get there. Jimmy's a great crew chief. I love driving for him. We had a ton of fun at Watkins Glen last year, and then going way back to our truck championship days back in 2017. So really proud of the effort from this HFR group. They've been doing really good this year to bring out 2 trucks, and yeah, it's been something that we're really looking forward to. So qualifying here is it's going to be tough. Going out early, I don't know that we're going to be able to contend for the pole, but with the right adjustments, hopefully we'll be there at the end of the night.
You're going to be a busy man this week, and I know you're doing the triple duty, so what excites you about all the action you're getting out there on the Lady in Black?
Yeah, I mean, this is certainly a track that driver technique really matters at. So more seat time you can get, the better. Anything that you learn from these or the Xfinity cars or the O'Reilly cars tomorrow really is not going to translate, but driving the racetrack will translate. So, yeah, I love this racetrack. It's a really tough place, so fun starts now.
Appreciate you, Christopher. Jamie, they always say you drive the track, not the other competitors.
That's right. That man knows how to get around this place. He talked about Jimmy Villeneuve, and he was his truck chief back in the year in 2017 when he won the championship. So I know that's a pretty cool reunion for those two.
Isn't that crazy how everything comes together and how much he's looking forward to being a part of this tonight?
We're going to call these the Darlington spoilers, Michael. You agree with that?
Yeah, I think they got to go through Caden Honeycutt, which I love. We saw all the road course ringers come to St. Pete and try to take down Lane Riggs. Couldn't do it. Can Caden Honeycutt step up and take these guys down tonight?
Yeah, can Corey Heim find his winning ways and get back to victory here? We'll find out. Trucks will be rolling on the backside of the break. Sunday, the NASCAR Cup Series is on FS1. Catch the best of the best as they go full throttle right here at Darlington. Checkered flag for the Goodyear 400 flies Sunday at 3 Eastern with the pre-race action beginning at 1:30. That's only on FS1.
Who's your favorite, Jamie? Can Denny Hamlin get number 62? He's going to be at the top of my list of guys that might win Sunday night.
Absolutely, but I'm also looking at Reddick and what he's been able to do here the last few times out. So,
what about the consistency of Bubba? It's been a great start to the season for him as well.
Been a great season for him.
And don't forget Kyle Larson. He's pretty good everywhere we go.
Yeah, he's been knocking at that door.
It's going to be a fun night.
That's a Christopher Bell walk if I've ever seen it, right there walking down to his truck. He said he's going out early.
That exudes confidence, doesn't it? Look at that. He's just making his way toward his truck.
He'll roll off 8th. First driver up is Justin Carroll, and we got word that Frankie Muniz, who is supposed to roll off 6th, went back to the garage toward the end of practice there, Michael. They had a mechanical of some sort, so he will not qualify. If they could sort it out, he will be in the race tonight. He'll just have to start in the back. You see it right there.
The Dave Blaney throwback.
Yeah. We have 36 trucks here for 36 spots.
That's always nice. A little pressure off teams that are struggling in practice to get it done. Justin Carroll's never made a start here, so I'm sure right now getting ready to go out and make this qualifying run, the first guy onto the track. He's got to have his eyes wide open.
He's one of those guys who knows what it's like to miss the field, too, when you put in all the effort to get to the racetrack. And there he is right there in the number 90.
He knows he'll be racing tonight. Just put in a nice solid, maybe err on the conservative side here. Give yourself a chance to get some experience tonight and make things happen. There's some of the trucks. I talked about the garage being all about templates and getting through inspection. There's some of the guys that failed pre-race inspection.
Some big names there. What is that like, Michael, being the first out? All eyes are on you.
Well, used to back in the day, we would draw for qualifying position. It wasn't based on the metric, so anybody's law would be the first out. And also, sometimes we'd have to wait 3 or 4 hours after practice to go qualifying. So the track goes through some changes with the sunlight. At least these guys were just on the track and they're getting to figure things out in a hurry.
Times have changed, Michael. All the practice time you guys used to get back in the day. And now
Justin ran a 32.50 in practice and picked it up all the way down to a 31.30. So I talked about fresh tires and how fast these guys can go when the tires are new. Big pickup there. We'll see if we see that throughout the field.
Now these Cup drivers, Michael, back to that conversation. 25 minutes, you're going to qualify, and that's it. Then you race on Sunday. There's Caleb Costner from Dallas, North Carolina.
Good looking 93 truck, running a little bit low there. That means he didn't use all of his momentum to swing out in turns 1 and 2. I said conservative, you know, let's not make a mistake here and put our team even further behind the 8 ball. Here him picking up the gas there, throttled on and off a little bit, working it. Finally wide open. About 4/10 off of what Justin Carroll did is Costner.
The session's quick.
Yeah, we're just going to run them right off here.
Single truck, 1 lap, 1 round. Number 56, Timmy Hill.
He's been good here, man.
He has. Can't forget what he did at Martinsville last year. He was the fan favorite for sure to finish in the top 10, the little team that could.
Yeah, he's ran 6 times here at Darlington and has 3 top 10s, so he can get it done here as well. And I love his attitude. Talked to Timmy earlier today, and he's just like, this is what it's all about. Coming to Darlington, knowing you've had success here, knowing you're good here, and getting a chance to go do it again. He'll go to the top, 29.69. That's a solid lap. Just to give you an idea of what we're seeing in qualifying, Timmy's lap would have been 2nd fastest overall out of that session we had earlier today, just a bit ago. So good pickup, good speed right now.
Dawson Sutton finished 19th in his only Truck Series start here at Darlington last year.
He went out and ran a 30.04 on a set of tires right at the end of that session. We heard his team saying, nice pickup, Dawson. So he knows what he's got under him. See if he can pick it up even more. Looks solid so far. Really good line there. A lot of throttle down.
Rackley Ward driver, 20-year-old, goes to the top of the board.
Good lap.
Got to be happy with that pickup.
No doubt.
Here's Spencer Boyd.
He's a veteran, been around. Has 7 Darlington starts. See what Spencer can do. He was about 30, he was 33rd in practice earlier, ran a 32.14. See if he can pick it up down into the 31, 30, maybe even 29 second bracket. You can hear how little they're out of the gas, off the gas, and then try to get right back to it.
This young man does such a great job, always bringing a different sponsor to the racetrack. Totally different look this time around for him.
31.12.
Spencer Boyd, good enough for 3rd.
Almost down into the 32nd bracket. Good run there for Spencer.
It was supposed to be Frankie Muniz next, but we mentioned he's back in the garage, will not make a qualifying run. So Josh Rayome next up.
Trying his own truck out. He owns these trucks. Getting to make a run at it.
Yeah, and he put so many different drivers behind the wheel. Northern California driver, does it all. Owns the team, runs the team, brings in the sponsorship, and every once in a while, drives them himself.
You can see that truck has a really nice attitude. The nose really tucked there. Good line, low on the corner. Nice lap, 30.95. I wouldn't, man, with that big pickup that Dawson Sutton had, if Caden Honeycutt picks up that much speed, we're going to be down in the 28-second bracket. That's hauling around Darlington.
Let's see what Christopher Bell can do here. Just heard from him, said they're going to need a little help to get it where they need it tonight. But experience pays off in so many ways when you come to this place.
Look how close he was to wide open through there.
A couple twitches.
And that truck is hanging out a bit. I guarantee you that's getting Christopher's attention.
As he heads into turn 3.
Middle of the racetrack, I like that. Gives himself a little bit of room to slide up, which he does.
So close to the wall on the exit of 4.
Wow.
Good enough. Top of the board, 28.97.
That is amazing. We thought maybe the 28s were possible, and that lap was, it looked hairy to me, Jamie. He was hanging on to that baby.
Just after 7 trucks, Michael, we've picked up that much. So we take a look at Mini Tyrell. So I know different people have asked about Mini Tyrell. Where did he get this nickname? Actually, Mike Joy asked me that as well. So I went right to the source, and Mini told me he was 2 years old watching Austin Powers with his dad, and Mini Me came up on the screen, and his dad looked at him and looked at Mini and said, "You are my Mini," and that stuck. He's always been shorter in stature. One of the nicest guys. You mentioned drinking from a fire hose right now, Michael, just trying to figure this out. Good lap for him. He 4th overall so far with a 30.46.
Attaboy, 30.46.
Attaboy. That's what you want to hear from the team.
First start here at Darlington. Welcome back to NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series qualifying. Jamie Little, Michael Waltrip with you. Josh Sims on pit road as we take a look at the 18, Tyler Ankrum.
See a decent start to the season from Tyler. Good Daytona, good Atlanta, just outside the top 10 there at St. Pete. How fun was St. Pete, seeing those trucks hop the curbs and doing a little street racing?
They put on a show.
Man, they did. What a great feeling that was.
Great companion weekend with IndyCar, but the boys here in the Truck Series put on a great show for the fans there, Michael. We had so many fans, over 1 million watching. It was a great turnout, so we don't know if we'll be back, but I'm personally hoping that we see it happen.
I bet we. And the IndyCar Cup doubleheader at Phoenix. That delivered too. Great vibe around the IndyCar and Cup race out there in the desert.
Been a lot of fun the last couple of weeks. It's Tyler Ankrum with a 29.45. Good enough for second. Josh.
Well, Jamie, you mentioned St. Pete. Well, here is the St. Pete winner right here. Lane Riggs also was on the pole for this race last fall. So how are you feeling about your chances of backing that up with another pole?
I feel good about it. Our bare knuckle boxing Ford F-150 is pretty fast today in practice. We definitely fought balance a lot. This is kind of the first race after the rule changes over the off season at an oval. So we were pretty off that first set of tires. Put the second set on, and I felt really confident in it. So qualifying here is it's very scary. The drivers, a lot say it's fun, some say it's nerve-wracking. I think it's both. You got to put the boys on the dash to go fast here. So it's so crazy. I mean, we're full lifting out in 1 and 2 in practice on race pressures, and then you go out here in qualifying, and it's an easy wide open through 1 and 2, and you just sail it off in 3 and 4. So the bravest man's usually on the pole here.
Appreciate your time and good luck, Lane.
Led 71 laps here last year, so he was getting it done.
Brave young man.
Clayton Green, 31.19. He'll go 8th of the 10 drivers that have practiced. And here's a guy that we're not used to seeing go this early in practice. It's been a tough start to the season for Grant Enfinger, but he'll get it together.
He will. Slow start for him. 22nd is his best finish. Talked about the points hole that he's in after the first 3 races.
Started near the front, just couldn't get the finishes that I'm sure he deserved. As you can see, our ghost truck, they're all chasing Christopher Bell. As you can see, a solid 3 and 4 there for Christopher, but Grant hung right with him. Good lap for Grant. He'll go second. Just about 1/10 of a second is all. 2/10 off of the fastest truck so far.
Grant hasn't had a top 10 in quite a while. All the way back to the Roval last October. That's hard to believe. They were on a roll early last season. As we take a look at William Sawalich, one of 5 trucks for Tricon Garage.
Man, I was down there in the garage, Jamie, and just the craftsmanship. You know, we talk about these trucks and aerodynamics, and you heard Lane talking about the changes of the rules, the way these things are put together. If you appreciate art, you look at these trucks, they're just works of art, handcrafted. Every piece of this truck carefully thought out and put together. See what kind of time he can run.
29.70 for William Sawalich. But just the designing that goes into these trucks to bring them to the racetrack, everything that you see on there.
Yeah, it's just meticulously done, and really got to take your hat off to the fabricators, the team guys that plot out the plan to build one of these trucks, put it together, and then know you're coming to Darlington and probably going to scrape off the right side at some point during the evening.
We lose count throughout the weekend of how many Darlington stripes we see on the wall and how many cars take one home, or trucks. In this instance, Stuart Friesen on track.
Hanging right there. I love the ghost truck. You can see exactly where they lose ground. You can see off of 2, Christopher just was able to carry a little bit more momentum. Looks like about the 2nd or 3rd fastest time here for Stuart.
And those are teammates.
He's 3rd. 1/4 of a second off of his teammate, Christopher Bell. That truck of Christopher's looked really good in the long run. He'll be tough to beat tonight.
Next up, Brendan Butterbean Queen.
We got a Bean driving a Ram and a Mini driving a Ram. It's so cool that Ram is here in NASCAR, making their presence known. They're just going to get better and better all season long. But they're bringing some trucks that are making statements right now with beautiful paint schemes. A lot of energy around the Ram return to NASCAR.
Colleague, I know Matt Colleague is so pumped up about what they've built with this organization, and they got a long ways to go, but they've done tremendous work in a short amount of time, gathering the drivers that they have, the personalities, the show, building all the trucks, hiring the people.
Yeah, I was fortunate to sit with Matt for a while out at Phoenix and Vegas and talked to him about their plan, and he said we're building right now. We're gonna get better, and before long we're gonna be contenders and winners, and he believes that, and I believe it as well. I think they have all the tools they need to take this thing to the top and contend with the Chevys and the Toyotas and the Fords.
Here's Tanner Gray. He ended up 4th quickest in practice. His best time was a 29.77. You see him a lot closer to the ghost truck there.
He's outrunning the ghost truck.
He's outrunning Christopher Bell.
Bell gets into 3 a little bit better, and I wonder if that means that Gray will get off. Yes, I thought he would have a better run off the corner, and he's coming, and he's there. Fastest truck, Tanner Gray. What a great lap.
Great lap.
Yeah,
Love
you can give
watching
up
that truck.
Yeah,
you
can
see where they make up and lose time.
You see, he just gave up a little bit on entry into 3. He was right with them down the back, gave it up on entry, but got it all back and then some on exit. That's really, really good stuff to watch and to see how they got it done. The teams use that too. The driver uses it. He makes a note and says, okay, I see what happened there.
There's the 81 of Chris Wright from McAnally Hilgeman Racing, full time in this ride this year.
This is his 5th Darlington start. Most starts he's had anywhere, so used to the track, running a low line there. We see most guys go up in the middle. He decided to take it a little low. We'll see if he can make that pay off. No, he'll just be 9th quick of the 16 drivers that have completed a lap here. You know, as I'm looking around the track, Jamie, I don't see any tire scuffs on the wall. I think we've kept this thing clean so far. I don't want to jinx these guys, but so far, so good.
Unbelievable. 50 minutes of practice, 36 trucks, and no Darlington stripes yet? That'll change. Just give us a couple hours. We're going to drop that green flag.
Well, it's not going to happen here. This guy will be precise and fast. Didn't have the practice session that we thought he might have, but you never know what they were learning along the way. And you can see Trace tracking right there with Tanner Gray.
Corey Heim, the 2025 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion.
Watch the exit for Gray. Tanner got it done off turn 4.
Close.
So close.
Plenty more drivers still to come. Gio Ruggiero, Jake Garcia, AJ Allmendinger. They're coming your way live from Darlington Raceway. You're watching Truck Series qualifying. Next up here for NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series qualifying, Gio Ruggiero in the 17 truck. The 19-year-old from Seekonk, Massachusetts.
Let's take it back to Darrell Walter. Darrell Walter leaving pit road in that 17 Western Auto truck. 1992 was his last Southern 500 win. Please tell me I'm correct, Russell, because Darrell's watching. Our stat people hard at work over in the corner. This should be a fast lap, Jamie. He had a really good practice.
Well, he's trying to knock off his teammate Tanner Gray on top. 28.94 is the time to beat. Corey Heim as well, and second is a teammate. Tricon Garage came to play today.
No doubt.
Here's that ghost truck. Look at Gio. All over Tanner Gray. Is it good enough? Might just be a little short. And it is. Gio.
How about a
second?
100th of a second?
Good job, bud.
Great job, bud. Boogity, boogity, boogity.
I mean, that's like a blink.
Yes.
It's quicker than a blink.
In the blink of an eye.
Hey, I've seen a movie called that. Starring your very own Michael Waltrip.
Starring Michael Waltrip. Jake Garcia down into turn 1. These guys are running pretty much wide open down through 1 and 2. Maybe just breathing it a little bit. And that is a thrill ride, I will tell you. It's like a pretty good 3 and 4. Lost a lot of ground down in 1 and 2. Did the 98 truck. Seemed pretty even through 3 and 4, but it's going to put him down in the 8th spot so far.
So 8th out of 19 trucks to take the track, to the track. 36 truckers total here today, and It's a nice throwback. A.J. Allmendinger.
I've been looking forward to seeing this lap. A.J. hadn't run an oval in a truck in years. I think since the O's. It's been a long time.
08.
08. And so look at the commitment there. Wide open into into 1 and 2 around. Good turn there. Lost a little bit of ground, but still a solid lap. You knew he was going to be fast. You know, he got his legs under him in that practice session. Figured out how to make things work. Look at him close there in 3 and 4, but watch what happens. We saw good exits from our faster trucks, but AJ did a good job through 1 and 2. He'll go 8th quick.
Let's hear from one of our Cup Series drivers making his first truck, or I guess his second truck start of the year. Josh?
And Ross Chastain won this race in a truck in 2024. Also doing triple duty this weekend, so can't keep you off the track. But how you feeling about what you got?
Well, I can promise you the truck feels better than the 1959 Impala I was out here making laps in last night for charity with the racetrack. But no, our Nice Motorsports Chevy feels okay. We built too tight, Josh, so I've had that before, and Phil Gould, I have full confidence that he'll be able to get that get the truck freed up. Not qualifying, related, but for the race.
Always good when you have you in the field, Ross. Good luck.
Yeah, it's always good, Ross.
Yeah, this is Ross's first start of the season. His last win came right here at Darlington in 24.
I think the last 3 trucks have gone 8th quick so far, Jamie. Each one of them replacing the other guy. There's Connor Jones. He's 8th fastest so far. Cole Butcher.
Haven't talked much about him today. The 29-year-old from Canada made the move down to Charlotte. Michael, just like all the youngsters, living out his dream. He's full-time this year for Thor Sport.
I think he's going to do a good job, too. He's shown a lot of speed. Hadn't put it all together yet, but shows potential in my eyes. Got the right attitude, too. I talked to him after the Rockingham test, and he just said, that place was crazy. I can't wait to watch the trucks at Rockingham. That's so fun. But he had a great attitude about the test and what they learned there, and see if it can relate to a good speed here.
See that? He hit 164 miles per hour.
That's crazy. Into these tight little turns. He'll go 7th quick. Good run.
It's the 91 of Christian Eckes, a former winner here. They were taking a look at that truck. They weren't sure if maybe they had a miss or something in the engine, but we're hearing it's all clear. It's good news.
Yeah, this guy knows how to get it done anywhere we go racing. He's really fast, shows a lot of speed. So that engine's performing the way it's supposed to. I look for him to be a factor tonight. Looks like that's going to be a solid enough for a top 5-ish run here. I'm just judging off the Ghost truck. Lost a little bit more than I thought he would off turn 4 there. 7th for Eckes. About a 2/10 off of the 5th place run for Grant Enfinger. Teammate coming along.
That night vision Napa truck. I know you like to see that, Michael. We're going to be racing under the lights tonight.
He's going to be working on his night moves.
I like what you did there.
Yes. Man, this place, Jamie, if you can't get fired up about NASCAR at Darlington, to me, this is what it's all about. Just seeing these guys, understanding how difficult it is, and watching them go out there and do their thing. It's just so much fun for me.
What a great job he did here last year. Finished 1 spot short, came up 2nd.
Look at that speed there.
Look how close to the wall.
And he's going to use that momentum. He didn't lose that much momentum. Great dive into 3 there for Christian. He goes 7th. Well, we were stuck on 8th. Now we bumped it up to everybody's going 7th.
So Daniel Hemrick in 7th.
Eckes 8th, Butcher 9th.
Curious to see what Justin Haley can do here in the 16.
He was the speediest Ram in our practice session. So
it's kind of been the theme for him this season. He's kind of been leading that charge for Ram. You know, I got to give them a lot of credit for these trucks. 5 different trucks, all with completely different looks. Is that a twitch there?
Give me that. Give me that driver. Watch him work that wheel. Leaning his head over to the left. Let's watch him work it through 3 and 4. Listen to the throttle. Off of it there. Ooh, right there. Trying to work back to the gas.
15th for Justin Haley.
I just, you know, I talked about A.J. Allmendinger getting his legs under him. He's the fastest of the Rams so far. He went 12th. So decent run there for Haley. I expected a little bit more.
See what his teammate Corey LaJoie can do. Making his second start of the season.
Smooth lap so far, not too far off on the speed.
They announced that he'll be in this truck for the next race coming up at Rockingham on April 3rd. Let's see what he can do here.
Right there with Allmendinger. Give it to LaJoie. He's 12th quick so far. That's a throwback to Randy LaJoie, his dad's truck.
Yeah. A lot more qualifiers still to come. Can Tanner Gray hang on to it, or will it be Caden Honeycutt or that guy? Right there, a winner already this season. Lane Riggs looking for 2 straight poles. We welcome you back to qualifying live from Darlington Raceway. 9 truckers still to go. Connor Mozak up next for Spire Motorsports.
Really, really good practice for Connor Mozak. He had a fast long run truck. See if he can get a great starting spot here. Top 3 positions right now held by Tricon Garage. Dominating performance. Can somebody replace them from the top? In the form of Connor Mozak. Solid lap so far, but not quite what he needs to be on the pole. Good 3 and 4. Look at that. I think there's something to be had for Gray's lap, Jamie. Just watching some of these guys close on him down in turn 3 and 4. I believe there's some more out there. So, and we're looking at the heavy hitters now going to try to do just that. I think Mozak was actually a little bit faster in 3 and 4 than Gray was. Let's see what Carson Hocevar can do.
Carson Hocevar making his 3rd start this season. Finished 2nd at Atlanta.
I'm going to guess this is what you call full send from this kid.
Look at how close he is to Tanner Gray.
See what happens down here. Feel like Hocevar will pull ahead.
There he goes. Just like you said, Michael, can he keep it there?
Yes, ma'am.
And he does. Carson Hocevar to the top, 28.86. Very impressive.
Yeah, that was a great lap. Andres Perez. See how his lap goes. Those are the starts he's made, where he started in the first 3 races, looking to bounce up into that top 10 here. Really good entry to turn 1 there.
2024 ARCA Menards Series champion. 2nd full-time season in the trucks.
Gets in really deep, but watch this.
All the difference off of turn 4.
Did you like that?
I loved it.
Okay, good.
I knew what I was supposed to be looking at.
That was him driving off is what that meant.
Perez, 15th.
Here's the story of the day.
Caden Honeycutt, you said at the top, you think he's the man to beat not only now, but tonight as well.
You can see the commitment, man. He was wide in 3 and 4 coming to the green, got that thing wound up. Nice angle there into turns 1 and 2. Fires off turn 2 with a lot of speed. Tracking right there just ahead of Hocevar. Let's see what's left down here. He looks so good coming to the green.
We've seen how good those Tricon Garage trucks have been in qualifying.
He's done it.
3 teammates in the top 5. Can he go to the top? Caden Honeycutt.
Yes.
Nice work, but it was a
0.02 of a second, man. Things are close up front. That's so cool. What a day it's been for Caden, huh? He's won everything.
Goodness, everything. Even the 30 lap average.
Which we never see.
We never see that. Thanks to that 50 minutes of practice here. As we take a look at Ross Chastain. See a watermelons on the deck? See something green. Of course, he'll get that watermelon to smash if he can find victory lane once again, like he did a couple years ago.
He's hanging right there with him. He's got a chance at it.
That's just inches off the wall.
That's exactly where Honeycutt made his ground too. He came to the green like that, Jamie, which showed me that he was committed to that high side and made it work.
Chastain 7th.
This is good stuff. Great competition in qualifying, and I know how hard it is to go out there and do what these guys are doing. You can see Chandler Smith up high, getting wound up. See what he can do. We know how fast this kid is. Lost a little bit into turns 1 and 2. Just shows you what a lap Caden put together. He's been perfect all day.
I mean, he said it, his crew chief said it. It's their first time being at the track together, and look what they're doing. They're making magic. Fast truck. We'll see if anybody can knock him off. It won't be Chandler Smith at 29.23, 10th for the 38 truck.
He'll still be a competitor tonight. He'll still be a part of the story as we watch the youngest veteran in NASCAR, Ben Rhodes, taking the green flag.
This is the same truck he raced at Atlanta with. Remember, we thought he was going to be the truck to beat, Michael. They ran out of fuel. He ended up fighting back to finish 4th, but we know how good that truck is.
A little conservative there on the line in 1 and 2.
See him tracking 12th in the red.
Made a nice run into 3, but can't quite. I think he made a little ground on the field there in 3 and 4. He'll go 13th so far. 2 to go. Then there were 2. Can anyone knock Caden Honeycutt off the pole? I don't think so.
A couple of big dogs here. Ty Majeski was on top in practice for quite some time. Had that one fast lap early. There's the green flag for the 88.
I love that shot. You can see that right rear fender just hanging out oh so slightly. The competitors want it way out. NASCAR says we got to tuck it in a little bit, but it's fun for me to watch. Great lap for Majeski. Great 1 and 2. He's going to contend for this pole. Right there. You talked about he was fast in practice. He's fast in qualifying. He'll go 7th.
One final truck to go. The winner at St. Pete, our last race. Riding that wave of momentum.
He's going bare knuckle.
Said you got to be the bravest driver out here to get it done.
Well, that's what qualifying's about. Watch that face. Look at the concentration, the focus. Right out next to the outside wall. Solid lap. And he goes up high. Tried to commit. Oh, look how close to the wall he is.
Whew. 8th for Lane Riggs. That means Caden Honeycutt, first career pole, gets it done at Darlington.
Wow, what a day it's been for that young man.
3rd driver to ever win their first career Truck Series pole right here at Darlington. He joins Jason Leffler and Cole Witt. So there is your front row for tonight, coming up at 7:30 Eastern. Carson Hocevar outside front row. That's quite the lineup. Well, let's hear from our happy pole sitter, Josh.
Well, first career pole for Caden Honeycutt. First of all, how's that sound to be leading the field to green here at Darlington later tonight?
Man, it's awesome. I'm not really so much of a hot lapping guy, so that was really awesome. Man, I couldn't do it without Toyota. Tricon, Safe Light, everyone that took a chance upon me to take over this 11 truck and do a good job. first 3 weeks I felt like we've done good, but also I haven't done the best job at maximizing our results, and man, just really awesome. I was glad to get on the front row there. It makes our life a lot easier tonight for sure. Clean air means a lot, especially on old tires, long run, and all that. So, man, just a great job on my guys. Can't appreciate them enough, and for what they do for me and allow me to do this. So it was awesome, able to have Scott back. Scott was a huge role today. He did a great job in practice and set me up for a great truck. And, you know, a lot of the guys behind the scenes is because of Scott and this whole team. I'm just a lucky guy that holds the wheel, but I think it's really awesome that Tricon is in the whole top 10. That's really awesome for everyone at Toyota. So I'm happy about that and the way our results are. So we got 147 laps to go get us one tonight.
Well, that's right. You got the pole, but now you got the race ahead of you. So what is going to be the focus? What's going to be the biggest thing for you to make sure you keep this truck up front?
Yeah, definitely on the start. You got a Cup guy next to me who he's aggressive, but I love Carson a lot. So hopefully we get in front of him on the start and just kind of set our own tone, our own pace, and rely on the tire and just do what I got to do to keep it underneath me and do what I need to do to keep this thing out front. And my pit crew is the best down here on pit road, so I'm definitely not worried about making pit stops and changing tires. So looking forward to being with the Toyota Racing Group to go and see if we can get one tonight. I'm really excited.
First career pole for Caden Honeycutt, Jamie.
Well done, and he mentioned it, Michael. You hear from the drivers how important it is to get that track position to start this race tonight.
Yeah, he knows he's going to control this race. He also knows what a competitor he has beside him in Carson Hocevar, so it's a challenge. We've seen some really, really talented racers, young racers, make mistakes here at Darlington that takes them right out of it. I talked earlier about Lane Riggs. We saw last year also Chandler Smith early in the race getting into the outside wall. You're going to run right beside it. Just staying out of it is what the key is going to be for this young man. So much energy today with the speed that he has on the pole. Just calm down a little bit now.
Look at this. First time Tricon Garage has put 4 trucks in the top 5 in qualifying. They came to party. They came to play tonight, Michael. And look, throughout the field, Ty Majeski down there, Lane Riggs, row 4. Ross Chastain, definitely someone to watch tonight.
Good job today by Corey LaJoie. He's the fastest of those Rams. He'll start 20th. He'll be thinking top 10 tonight, I can promise you that.
Ben Rhodes with his new crew chief, see how quickly they can mesh, see if they can get it done.
Timmy Hill, 3 top 10s and 6 starts here. He's going to come from 26. Can he get up to the top 10?
William Sawalich, another Tricon Garage Toyota back there. And you see Josh Rayome, Spencer Boyd, row 16, and Frankie Muniz, the one truck that did not get a qualifying lap because he had those issues, but he will line up in the final spot. Well, let's hear from outside front row. Here's Josh.
Well, that's right. Carson Hocevar starts this race on the front row. So how does that set you up for tonight?
Yeah, I thought we would have had a shot for the pole there. I've been working out. I'm up to a 40 to a 42 now, so I'm huge. But I felt like that really held us up for our qualifying lap. But I'm excited with our race trim. It's pretty cool, though. Like, if I was to run second to a paint scheme, you know, obviously Johnny Benson being from Michigan, it's a good one. Line up with them. The 11 truck's really, really good. So hopefully we just keep working on it. Excited, though, about our Delaware Life Chevy. And, yeah, it's been fun every time I get to run a truck. And so excited to get going with these guys. It's, yeah, I've had a lot of fun. Darlington's a great place to do it. So hopefully we get creative if we're a little off of them and, you know, find some lines that work for us.
You've had a lot of laps here at this point in your career, so what does it take to be able to have success here at Darlington? Because you've been very good here in a truck.
Yeah, I mean, every time, you know, knock on wood, we were really fast, and there's always, like, you know, the pit gun braking or whatever when I was racing with Nice, and, you know, we've always had speed, though. So, you know, I think everybody says this is kind of a driver's track, and, you know, I just kind of went with the philosophy of, if you just get me in the ballpark, I'll move around and find our truck and keep moving around until our stuff's good. And I felt like that's what we did in practice. I just kept moving around until I found where our truck was good. So I think I got a good idea of where we're at, and I think we should be just fine. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, Jeff's here, Chris is here, you know, Tyler, everybody, you know, just getting to watch. So I'm excited. It'll be a good time.
And it's drivers only tonight, so the guys on pit road are Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Austin Cindric. So you've done it a lot in the past. I work with you. You didn't need my help at all, clearly. But what advice do you have for those guys?
I think they'll be fine. I hung out with some of them this week, so hopefully they have a good time, and you know, hopefully they get to, you know, have fun talking about me. I'm sure there's going to be some shit talking at some point. So I wonder who's in my section. Do you have any idea?
That's a good question.
I'm down there. You have any idea?
You probably have Ricky in your section.
Perfect. That's perfect. Love you, Ricky.
Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's important to say love you, Ricky. You know, get Ricky warmed up to yourself.
Yes.
A bit.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You never know what those drivers are looking for, what they're hearing, what they're saying. They open up their mic.
I was like, yeah, I thought we would have had a shot at the pole, but I felt like I just kind of got us weighed down a little bit. I've been working out 40 to 42.
Yeah, he's talking about being huge and working out, Michael. We have a couple of very tall men. He is one of them. You are another.
Yeah.
But Austin Cindric will be a pit reporter tonight. Look at the comparison.
Tall and slender. That's what we're calling these men. You can see the tail of the tape there. Carson versus Austin. Looks pretty close, right?
Pretty darn close.
But we hear Carson's been working out, so maybe Austin doesn't have a chance.
Maybe host the bar up to 180 or so.
Woo!
It's going to be a fun night to watch him. Oh, yes, it's the calm before the storm at Darlington Raceway. It'll be quiet for just about 2.5 hours before these truckers will roar to life. We're coming up on FS1, 7:30 Eastern.
And we're going to let the drivers bring it to you.
That's right, a drivers only broadcast. But right now, let's hear from another driver. He's with Josh.
All right, Corey LaJoie making his second start of the season, but first start in a Ram truck. So how'd you feel about the practice and qualifying session?
Man, these guys have been thrashing all day. We were late. We couldn't get through text. These guys were thrashing on it. We got it going. The truck drives pretty well. I feel like with these things, you really have to determine how much drag you want to put on it for qualifying, right? So we roll off 20th because we have a lot of downforce built into this truck. Hopefully it pays off tonight as the tires get worn out and guys are sliding around. I feel like our long run speed was good. It's been fun to just watch this Ram group get off the ground. It's a big undertaking, man. Those guys are thrashing, trying to get trucks built. And I think they've done a pretty good job, and hopefully we can keep progressing this thing forward after tonight.
And the family got a little bit bigger, so congratulations on that. Now 4 boys in the family, full house. How you living?
Oh, dude, it's chaos right now. I got hey to everybody at home. Yeah, dude, my house is WrestleMania every night. 4 boys just wrestling with each other. It's a freaking blast. I love it. But it's nice to unplug, get back in, have a little fun, drive around in circles with such a cool brand. Team Colleague and Ram here is pretty special thing. And we're going to try to keep creeping our way towards the front, have good pit stops, and put ourselves in position at the end.
Not getting a lot of sleep these days, but I'm sure he's happy to be in the truck out here. Jamie?
Yeah, it's good to see that Corey LaJoie smile. And Mike, he talked about what an undertaking. I mean, they're building trucks, but they also bought some trucks just to be able to be here.
Yeah, that truck he's driving tonight came from Spire, and they rebodied it and made it into a Ram. So he's familiar with his surroundings. And I didn't know if he's talking about chaos at home with the kids or the chaos we're going to see here tonight on the racetrack, because we know it's been an amazing start to the 26th season with these truckers. They've raced so hard and so clean. Things could change tonight. Things get a little bit crazy here at Darlington.
How will things change, Michael? We just have practice qualifying in the daytime. We're going to race under the lights tonight.
You're going to have a little bit more grip, which gives you a little bit more of false confidence, if you will. You know, more grip means that a lot of places you can be more aggressive. The more aggressive you are here, it could hurt you because you just run so close to that outside wall. You take a chance, it'll bite you.
Such a special place, so much action still to come. Are you sticking with your horse?
Yes.
Tonight?
Caden Honeycutt's going to make a clean sweep. I don't think that's happened very often where a guy wins all of practice, wins qualifying, and then goes out and gets the checkered flag. But he's shown, ever since he's shown up here in the Truck Series, Jamie, that he has everything it takes to not only win races, but win a lot of races.
Yes, well, he got his first career pole. We'll see if he can get his first career win tonight. So much more action to come. Remember, it's a drivers-only broadcast coming up 7:30 Eastern on FS1. Sunday race day starts at 1:30 Eastern on FS1 as well, followed by the race at 3 o'clock. For Michael Waltrip and Josh Sims and all of us at Fox Sports, Jamie Little.